How's the weather there, mate?
Weather's good, actually. It's very good. Last time I was here, like when I fought on Fight Island, it was, mate, scorching hot. It was that hot.
Yeah.
You couldn't even go outside. Right now, you can go out there and then sort of enjoy the heat. So it's pretty good. Good atmosphere around here. A lot of people around. Much different to the last time I was here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've noticed you're looking a lot sort of happier, more laid back. You're looking a lot healthier, obviously.
Bigger?
Mate,
Bigger?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, the lack of having to cut to 145, how good's that feeling for you at the moment? I imagine you're feeling a lot better, right?
Yeah, definitely feel better. Look, to be honest, like I'm usually all right. Well, now you're making me feel like I'm terrible fight week when I'm fighting featherweight, but I usually think I'm pretty good. But I mean, the schedule's not too crazy, so that obviously helps. Right now, I've got a bit to do, but not too much. And yeah, obviously, I'm not cutting too much. Like, the nutritionist wanted to give me a heap of carbs. You know what I mean? Like, because my weight's not good, but I'm like, I may as well get it right down, do what I usually do, get my head in the right headspace, make it feel as much like fight week as I can. We all good.
No, but that was good. When Dana mentioned that, it makes sense that you'd be the next guy to fight the champion at 155 pounds. I mean, you obviously would have been relieved at that. Obviously, that's what you've been working to do, right? That's why you're there in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is why I'm here. Yeah, it makes sense for me to do this and take that. Like if the opportunity comes, all right, we'll do it. If not, I'm next in line, right? So, perfect world. These guys get out there, do their thing, and then I have a full camp. I get to, promote my own main event against a lightweight champion on home soil. Could you imagine that in February? You know what I mean? That's perfect world right there. But we'll see what happens. I'm prepared. Obviously, I did what I had to do to make sure I was ready if I do need to step in. But they both look healthy. They both look keen. Everything's supposedly trending. Everyone's keen to see what happens this weekend. So, you've got two different styles. It's not the most ideal situation. That's why a lot of people think I'm crazy for doing it. But, I mean, I'm the type of guy that I'll do it to, claim my stake as the next guy to fight for that title. You know what I mean? I'll do it. There are not many people who do that. And I'm happy to take that risk, even though I feel like I'm prepared enough. But, I mean, let's be real. When you talk about promoting, you want to be a main event. You want the whole promotion based around you and some opponent, right? Fighting for the title or not.
Yeah. Maybe
being a backup and then coming in last second. Like, obviously, it's not an ideal situation to be in, especially when you want to promote yourself and, promote such a big fight. But again, I'm just the type of guy that's willing to put myself in these positions anyway. And that's why I think a lot of people respect it. And that's why you see me locked in, and the big boss agrees and he's locking me in next to fight for that title anyway.
I know what you're going to say. I'm going to ask, who do you think's tougher? And I know you're happy to fight either of them, but who do you think you match up with better? I know you fought jiu-jitsu guys in the past, but this Dagestani wrestling that's sort of come to the fore in recent years, I wonder how you'd sort of feel that you'd match up there.
So, yeah, I'm happy to be pretty honest about it. Like, obviously, Charles, I think my style alone, as long as I'm fit, my style alone covers a lot of ground there. You know what I mean? My movement and things like that, his sort of style as well, his approach and striking. He's a gamer, he's dangerous, but I mean, I can take a lot of them dangers away just purely from my style. Obviously, you've got that jiu-jitsu threat, but I'm used to guys like that. I've fought guys like Ortega. So
exactly.
He's got a very similar approach where when you shoot, they're just snatching something up, you know what I mean? Where Islam's a totally different type of approach in the grappling. And he's going to be very strong, very top-heavy and all that, and you're going to work a lot of takedown defense. Even the way he strikes his approach to striking is based around his grappling. He doesn't care about landing too much. It's just purely setting it up. He doesn't take unnecessary risks because he just wants to grab a hold of you and get you down. So ideally, for someone like Islam, knowing that it's going to be him and having a full camp would be much better for someone like Islam than with someone like Charles. But in saying that, I pretty much, to be quite honest, this camp that I did do, a lot of that was based around Islam, to be honest anyway, because, again, my style, and that's no disrespect to Charles, it's just my style alone can take care of a lot of things that Charles does, where obviously I'm really good at these things that Islam wants to do, but I need to be ready to do 5 rounds of it.
Yeah.
I need to be ready that if he puts me there, that I'm going to get back up. I'm going to be hard to get down. Even if he does get me down, I'm back up. He's not getting a submission, and I'm back in his face doing work. And I could do that for 5 rounds. So it was purely just trying to get ready for that. But I mean, I think Joe did a great job of getting me prepared for both, and I'm in the right headspace if I need to step in. But again, perfect world, fighting the lightweight champion in Australia, February.
Who do you think wins then this weekend between the two of them?
I'm leaning towards Islam. I think he's again the way he approaches his grappling and his striking and all that. It's not like Charles's last few opponents, right? Charles's last opponents were happy to stand in front of him and they were banging, which works perfect for someone like Charles. Islam ain't going to do that. He's going to approach it as safely as he can, defensively as he can, just to grab a hold of you and bring you down. He's going to want to bring you down on his terms, not Charles. So if Charles wants to pull guard and do that, I don't think Islam will have anything to do with it. He's going to want to grab a hold of him, take him down, cage his hips.
Yeah.
Not give him any space to scramble and throw up submissions. And that's how he's going to approach it. And I think he might be a little bit successful there. But I mean, with someone like Charles who's so dangerous, he's going to be throwing knees there the whole time. He ain't going to be scared of the takedowns because of his jiu-jitsu. He ain't going to be scared to throw his punches. So he's going to be dangerous in that sense because he's not scared of what Islam's game is going to be. But I still think Islam's approach and strategies will be enough to get the job done.
Well, that's just it. We were talking about it just on the show today. We had Whitaker and Tyson Pedro in, and then I said the three last opponents that Charles has fought in Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, and also Justin Gaethje, he got knocked down or he got hurt by all of them, and all three of them refused to engage on the ground. Maybe not Michael Chandler, but certainly the last two. Islam's not going to be afraid to engage on the ground with Charles Oliveira.
If he had Charles hurt and grab a leg, it depends. He's going to approach it. He's not just going to go straight into a guard. He's going to try and grab a leg and sort of he's going to approach it different. He's not just going to want to fall into the guard. He might try and go straight into half guard or something like that if he can. But I mean, he's going to be very wary of how he approaches and engages that, because that's where, when Charles has a space, that's where he's going to be most dangerous with his jiu-jitsu. If Islam already grabs a hold of him, brings him down, he's not going to be dangerous because he's not going to have hips to move. He's not going to have room to use his hips and throw up submissions. It's going to make it very hard.
Yeah.
But if he was to hurt Charles, as he's fallen down, he'll grab a hold of something and then, again, on his terms, as he's falling to the ground, make sure he's in the best position he can when he hits the mat. So, even if he does approach the guard, I think there's going to be a strategy around it, not just, fall in his guard and then work on passing. He's going to want to fall into maybe a side mount, fall into a half guard, grab a leg and control the leg and just get him into a position where he can't give Charles room to just throw these dangerous submissions. Preferably, I'd want Charles to win because I know he wants to be active and I know I ain't going to wait around. With Islam, I don't know if that's going to be the same story.
Yeah,
I think Charles is a massive fight, a lot of hype around him, and he wants to be active and he will fight ASAP. Because again, I want to be active. So if someone, if Islam was to win and then I have to wait till mid next year, I ain't waiting. So you'll be seeing me defend my featherweight belt. Because again, I ain't lying when I say I want to stay active. A lot of people are going to maybe sit there and be like, oh, can he keep 2 divisions busy? I don't think I need to say anything. I think I'm proving it in doing things like what I'm doing here in Abu Dhabi right now. What I did to fight at Max Holloway 3 months after the fight. You know what I mean? I've had within a year, you know what I mean? I'm potentially four fights. You know what I mean? With a broken hand somehow. How is that even possible? It is with me, and I'm proving that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, last one before we let you go, man. If it does have to be someone at 145, is it Yair? Do you feel as though he deserves it? I know, look, he lost to Max, pretty convincingly, I would have thought, and then had the TKO injury win against Brian Ortega. Do you feel as though he's the closest guy? I know you've got Josh Emmett there as well. He might be more deserving. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky situation. That's why I'm looking so hard at this lightweight division. So here I am trying to be active and people are like, "Oh, you can't keep two divisions busy." Well, one division can't keep me busy enough.
Well, there's no number one
Because we don't
contender
have
at 45.
Well, exactly right. And how easy is it for someone to go and take that? It is easy, but they're the ones that are keeping, they're the ones holding me back. That's
Yeah.
how I believe it. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? So I'm not holding any divisions up. My divisions are holding me up. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm looking at it. And that's why you see me doing what I'm doing right now. Yeah, I think you've got guys like Arnold Allen who's fighting Calvin Kattar as well.
Yeah.
So there's definitely you got your Josh Emmett, you got your Rodriguez. There's definitely a lot of guys. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of guys to keep me busy. Just these guys need to stay busy and keep the division busy. You know what I mean? So it ain't me holding up the division. It's my contenders that are hoping opportunities are given to them rather than earning it and taking it like I'm doing here in the lightweight division.
Oh, well, it's absolutely great to see, and we couldn't be prouder of you. Volk, thanks so much for calling in, mate. We really appreciate it. You're looking absolutely fantastic, and enjoy the fights. We'll speak to you once you come back, mate.
Thank you. See you later.
My man.